Have you ever noticed how a dragonfly seems to appear at the exact moment something in your life feels important? That is why the spiritual meaning of a dragonfly often catches people's attention so quickly. It is not usually seen as just another insect passing by. For many people, it feels like a quiet message, almost like life is tapping you on the shoulder and saying, "Pay attention, something meaningful is happening here." What makes the dragonfly so interesting is that it tends to appear in moments already charged with meaning. Maybe you are thinking about a big decision, going through a change, or simply needing reassurance. In those moments, the dragonfly can feel like more than a coincidence. Whether someone is deeply spiritual or simply open to the possibility, it is often seen as a positive sign, one that brings hope rather than fear. In this teaching, the dragonfly is viewed as a symbol of good fortune, blessing, and smoother days ahead. It is like seeing sunlight break through clouds after a long stretch of overcast skies. The message is not always loud, but it is clear enough to feel. Life may be moving in a better direction. And once you understand why the dragonfly appears as a sign, the first spiritual meaning becomes very clear. Spiritual meaning number 1, good fortune and blessings. The strongest spiritual meaning of a dragonfly is often good fortune. When people see one, they do not always think of warning or danger. More often, it feels like a good sign, almost like something favorable is quietly making its way toward you. It is the kind of symbol that arrives like a gentle knock at the door, not to scare you, but to remind you that better energy may already be on the path. Many people describe this feeling as a blessing. It is like the sky clearing after a heavy cloud, or like finding a smooth road after a stretch of bumps and rough turns. The dragonfly can carry that same emotional weight, light, hopeful, and reassuring. It suggests that life is not closing in on you, but opening up for you. That is why so many people respond to it with a sense of peace instead of curiosity alone. Based on lived experience and spiritual teaching, the dragonfly can mean that things will go smoothly for you. Not every detail of life will be perfect, of course, but the overall flow begins to feel lighter and more favorable. It is as if the current is finally moving in your direction instead of against it. And when life begins to move smoothly, it often points to a deeper shift happening beneath the surface. Spiritual meaning number 2, divine favor and protection. A dragonfly can also be seen as a sign of divine favor, almost like life is giving you a quiet nod of approval. It appears like a small but meaningful messenger, reminding you that you may be standing under a blessing you cannot fully see yet. Sometimes the sign is not about what is happening in front of you, but about the unseen support around you. The dragonfly feels like a soft confirmation that something good is covering your path. That is why this symbol brings so much comfort. It can remind a person that they are not walking alone, even during seasons when the road feels uncertain. Think of it like moving through a dark hallway with a light already turned on at the other end. You may not see every detail right now, but help is there. In that sense, the dragonfly becomes more than a beautiful creature in the air. It becomes a sign that protection is already at work in your life. And that feeling matters because people do not only want signs of change, they also want signs of safety. When a dragonfly appears, it can feel like a message that you are being carried, guided, and watched over in ways that are easy to overlook. It does not mean life will never bring challenges, but it does suggest you are not facing them alone. That sense of being supported naturally leads to the next meaning, transformation. Spiritual meaning number 3, transformation and inner change. Dragonflies are closely tied to change because they move with such lightness and ease. They do not seem stuck in one place, and that is part of what makes them so meaningful. Spiritually, this can reflect the kind of change that is already happening inside a person, even before life on the outside fully catches up. It is like seeing the first shift in the sky before the weather turns. Sometimes, transformation does not arrive with noise or drama. It can happen quietly, like a seed pushing up through the soil before anyone notices. The dragonfly reminds us that inner change can be subtle, but still very real. You may still be the same person in many ways, yet something deeper is already moving. Old habits begin to loosen. Old fears begin to fade, and a new way of seeing life starts to form. That is why the dragonfly can feel so powerful. It suggests that you are not just going through a moment, you are becoming someone stronger, wiser, and more aligned. The change may not be complete yet, but it has already begun. And when transformation begins, people often start asking whether the sign is meant for them personally. Spiritual meaning number 4, a personal message just for you. A dragonfly can feel deeply personal, almost like it appeared at the exact moment your heart needed it most. That is part of what makes this sign so powerful. It does not always feel random. Instead, it can seem like life itself is pausing for a second and placing a small reminder in front of you. In that moment, the dragonfly becomes more than something beautiful in the air. It feels like a message shaped just for your situation. Sometimes that message comes like a gentle nudge rather than a loud announcement. It catches your attention without forcing itself on you, the way a friend might quietly touch your shoulder just to say, "Look up, you are not alone." The dragonfly can work that way too. It may arrive when doubt is heavy, and you need reassurance that things are still unfolding with purpose, even if you cannot see the full picture yet. And that is why this sign can feel so comforting. Have you ever seen a dragonfly during a moment when you really needed reassurance? Many people remember those moments because they feel too meaningful to ignore. The timing seems too perfect, almost like a whisper from the unseen world. That personal timing is not accidental, and it leads to the next meaning of clear spiritual direction. Spiritual meaning number 5, clarity, lightness, and peace. The dragonfly moves with a kind of grace that is hard to miss. It seems to glide instead of struggle, almost like it knows how to move with the wind instead of against it. That is why it often becomes a symbol of lightness and freedom. When people connect it to spiritual meaning, they are often responding to that feeling of ease. The dragonfly seems to say that life does not always have to be heavy. Some seasons are meant to feel lighter. Spiritually, this can also mean that confusion is beginning to lift. It is like morning fog slowly pulling back from a road, revealing the path ahead one step at a time. In that way, the dragonfly can bring a sense of peace, not because every question has been answered, but because the heart starts to settle. The mind may still be busy, but something deeper inside begins to relax and trust what is unfolding. That is an important message, because people often carry more weight than they need to. Fear, pressure, and overthinking can make everything feel harder than it really is. The dragonfly reminds us that a calmer season may be ahead, and that not everything must be held so tightly. Sometimes peace arrives when we stop fighting the current, and once peace begins to return, the dragonfly often points to something even deeper: smooth progress. Spiritual meaning number 6, smooth paths and easier flow. This meaning connects directly to the heart of your teaching. The dragonfly can symbolize a smooth path ahead. It is the kind of sign that makes people feel like the road is beginning to open, even if they are not there yet. Think of it like driving on a rough street and suddenly noticing the bumps are getting fewer. The dragonfly brings that same feeling of relief, as if life is becoming easier to move through. That does not always mean every obstacle disappears overnight. Sometimes the problems are still there, but the energy around you begins to change. Things may stop fighting you so hard. The timing starts to feel better. The pressure starts to soften, and the air around your situation feels less heavy. In spiritual terms, that shift matters because it suggests that movement is no longer blocked in the same way. People often see this as a sign that life is beginning to flow with less resistance. It is like a stream that was once crowded with stones, finally finding a clearer course. You may still need to keep moving, but now the current is helping instead of pushing back. That is why the dragonfly can feel so hopeful in this stage. When the path becomes smoother, it usually means the final meaning is near: spiritual awakening. Spiritual meaning number 7, spiritual awakening and higher awareness. A dragonfly can be a quiet sign that something within you is beginning to open. It is not always loud or dramatic, but it feels like your awareness is stretching just a little further than before. You may start noticing things you used to overlook, or feeling more connected to moments that once seemed ordinary. In that way, the dragonfly reflects a growing sensitivity, as if your spirit is learning to see life with clearer and deeper eyes. Sometimes this happens when you are ready to understand life on a different level. The same situations you once questioned may begin to make more sense, not because everything has changed, but because you have. It is like looking at the same landscape from a higher place and suddenly seeing how everything connects. The dragonfly can appear during this shift, almost like a gentle signal that you are stepping into a new level of awareness. And when you put all these meanings together, the message becomes complete. The dragonfly is not just about change or signs, but about awakening into a space where blessing, guidance, and clarity meet. It brings a sense that things are aligning in ways you may not fully see yet. So when a dragonfly appears, it may be reminding you of one powerful truth: good fortune, blessings, and smoother days are already on the way.